Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amol Nirgudkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism. I have with me today two of my good friends, Christine Diehl and Sarah Varney from DSO Hygiene Excellence. And we're here to talk about really the hygienist space in the DSO world. And one of the first topic really I want to talk to you guys about is transforming hygienists basically into leaders at a DSO. So Sarah, my question to you is, how do you transform your hygienist into a leader in your DSO?
That's a great question. I think it's something that needs to happen for the DSO space to grow in the way that everybody wants it to for patients and for that model of the DSO. Bringing your hygienist to the table as a co-leader and a co-host in your office, I think is going to be key. And a lot of hygienists want to do it. As we're talking to hygienists out in the space now, we see a lot of them want to lead in their practices or asking how to help. And I think it's pretty simply just asking them to come to the table, asking them to have some autonomy in the hygiene department, asking them how they want to grow their hygiene departments. They know what they want to see happen there for their patients. And I think they're yearning to have a say in that and be able to have an integral part in making the hygiene department successful and your practice successful and the DSO successful.
Right, but you still want to give them some sort of a framework, right? Because you could ask them the question that, hey, let's have autonomy, but at the end of the day, they probably also need some support. And Christine, the question to you is, what kind of support? What are the advantages of kind of hygienists being certified in that kind of process of I know you guys are offering some of that services where you're going to get them in the mindset of leadership.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that a little bit.
We have the DSO Hygiene Excellence Diplomat Certification. And in there, we talk about leadership, but we also talk about diplomacy and teamwork. And those are two things, well, teamwork and diplomacy, I think, are very, very important, especially in the DSO space, because you're going to be working, with maybe a larger group of people. And I think as hygienists, we have to pitch in and make sure that everything is running smoothly and that we are keeping abreast of other people that may need our help. And with diplomacy, I think my one big thing with that is I think a lot of back to culture. I think a lot of problems arise because people can't communicate or have difficult conversations. So in the diplomacy part of our pillar, we really talk about how to mediate and how to be able to have honest conversations without it being like punitive or without a judgment, but that we're all in this together to promote the best patient care.
And by doing that, by engaging in those kind of conversations, and engaging in teamwork, you're elevating yourself to becoming a leader. And that's the transformation that really happens when you're able to effectively, leaders, we know all leaders are effectively able to communicate the vision, the mission of the enterprise to their coworkers and everybody that they work with. And then that brings the question really of alignment, right? You want to make sure that the vision, the hygienists, whatever the hygiene department vision is aligned with the DSO's vision, and so it's really important, right? For and Sarah, that's a question maybe I could ask you is how important it is for hygienists to really understand the business side of the hygiene department as it sits within the entire scope of their office or the DSO.
Yeah. And you're right. And we hear a lot of DSO leaders say to us, we want our hygienists to be more responsible. We want our hygienists to be more accountable for what's going on in their hygiene departments. And if you want people to be responsible, you have to give them responsibility, right? So you need to hand that responsibility off to them. Again, bring them to the table, go over with them some of your business. Go over with them your business model, go over with them your brand strategy for your DSO, go over with them your strategies for how you want the DSO to grow and their place in it. You've had that conversation about what you want hygiene to look like, whether that's you want them to be asking for patient referrals or helping to present treatment? I mean, just have that honest conversation so that you can be aligned on goals and visions for the practice within the DSO's, framework. And I think just having that critical conversation again is the key to unlocking that alignment. Letting them know some of the business numbers, letting go over them some of the basic KPIs that are profitability for your practice, for the hygiene department, and for them clinically within the hygiene department. And I think just creating that alignment and awareness will make a world of difference.
Mm-hmm.
The alignment between the doctor and the hygienist, we talk about that a lot in this space as really co-producers and co-leaders in a dental office, right? Because you really are a co-producers. Hopefully 35% of your production is coming from hygiene at least. And you are also co-leading because you are, really with respect to the patient relationship as well as everybody else. So what is the benefit really, Christine, of this alignment between doctor and the hygienist as that co-producer and co-leader in a DSO?
I think it is the best patient outcomes. When you're aligned with your doctor, you are going to get the best treatment outcomes and the best patient outcomes for the patient's health. I think that's obviously always number one in our mind. But in the sense of when you align with the vision with the DSO, that really helps everyone stay on that same page so that you can communicate better in between the doctor and the hygienist.
Interesting. I mean, I think at the end of the day, when you're aligned, I mean, there's also part of what we talk about at organization is really winning patient trust. And when the alignment is there, when everybody speaks with unified voice,
right,
that's when the patient, you're earning the patient's trust and they're moving forward in that journey. These are great topics. Really transforming them into leaders is important. And then aligning those, the goals of the hygienist with the DSO are going to provide for optimal outcomes. So thank you so much for this conversation. I look forward to having many more with you guys.
Thank you, Amol.
Thank you, Amol.